Thank you so much for having me today. I fondly remember standing and sitting, up the top of the stairs up there 6 years ago and thinking to myself, one day I'm going to stand on that stage. And I've got to say to you, this is the most terrifying thing I've ever done in my life. And it beats having 4 kids any day of the week. Today I'm going to talk to you about success with family, and I think it's something that is so often requested and so infrequently supplied, and it's something that I think you'll all be able to draw something from. And what I do is not perfect, but I've found a way to juggle it along the way. So today my topic is success with family, and I think success is such a broad term, because what does success actually mean? Success to me means having a great job, having a great time with my family, being able to enjoy our nice house, have a beach house, have a great team, be able to go on great holidays, but I don't want to be chained to being stuck at work. But success to me is not going to be the same as success is to you. So you just need to work out what your definition of success is. So let's take you back. It's 2006. I'd finished a commerce degree. I was going to be an accountant. I was way too out there to be an accountant. I decided I'd do a horse physio degree. My parents thought I was ridiculously mad. They told me I needed to get a job, so I became a receptionist in a real estate office. And through default only, I ended up selling a property that had been on the market for 2 years, completely unlicensed, never signing an agency before, as my principal couldn't attend the appointment. And actually said, you're actually quite good at this. And I thought, well, maybe. And he said, do you want to get your license? And I thought, well, screw it, what have I got to lose? I might as well get my license, put another degree on. And I decided then that I was actually going to become a real estate agent. And for anyone who's starting out in the industry today, and there's a number of you here, I would say if you have the opportunity to buddy up with someone, a principal or somebody that's flying along as a salesperson, and you had that opportunity to join them, you bloody well should, because that's where I reckon you'll start to learn the dialogue, you'll start dealing with the contacts, you'll be able to develop a database, and that's how you'll start going. So 2006, later that year, I get married. 2008, I have my first child. 2010, have another one. Later in 2010, get divorced. That was great. 2011, find a new husband, trip to Bali, because I thought I was going to have a mental breakdown. Decided that he was quite cool, so we decided to get married. I was Arabella Cooper, married a Hooper, became Arabella Hooper. For those who get to know me, you know my life's a bit of a comedy. David had 2 children, so I acquired them too. So here we are, 4 kids, poor David, right? Even our dog's a girl. Poor thing. But it's important to know that you can't be successful without support. And you have to have really solid support at home, but you've also got to have really solid support at work. I work in a team of 3. I have a buyer manager and I have a PA. And you've got to have a team that are there to help you when you need it. So I've got 4 kids. I'm trying to fit all of this in. I'm trying to work out how the hell I'm going to bloody well fit it all in. And I've had to learn over the years that I've got to get more productivity out of every minute that I have at work. And for anyone in this room that has to get better value, there's so many procrastinators. I'm the worst procrastinator in the world. Facebook, I love that thing. But I've learned that I've got to be unforgettable. And every time that I'm seeing someone, I've got to make that experience so unforgettable that when they come to sell or they want to transact, they never forget how awesome I am. And there was a time not long ago, in the last couple of months, where a guy called me out of the blue. I had no idea who he was. I'd met him at an open inspection 8 years earlier. The last time I spoke to him was the Monday after the weekend when I followed him up to see if he was interested. He never bought a house from me. I never followed him up ever again. He bought a house from somebody else and he rang me out of the blue and he said, Arabella, you won't remember me, but I've never forgotten you. I thought, oh God, this guy's a creep. He's like, but I've got this house to sell. I thought, oh yeah. And he goes, the last time I saw you was 8 years ago. I never bought a house from you, but I've never forgotten you since. And isn't that powerful? If you don't have to call everyone the whole time, but they remember how good you are, how nice is that? It was the most positive experience. You've got to learn to be a resource and get rid of that sales pitch. Scripts and dialogues, my God, those things have never, ever sunk in with me. I take things from people, but I put it into my own mold and I deliver it in my way. But if you're not giving an experience to everyone you meet, and you're not adding value or giving them sound advice, what do they actually take from you apart from a gimmicky call? If I don't have much time, I can't list stock that have these wild aspirations on value. I can only list that stock that I can sell. There's 3 principles I look for. They have to be super motivated, right? So they're either dying, they're getting divorced, or they're in huge amounts of debt. It's the 3 Ds. It's such a good thing to remember when you're qualifying someone to find out whether you want to list their house. I just can't list houses that are aspirational. You know, I've done it before. They sit on the shelf. Honestly, those things collect dust. And you go to their house the whole time for 6 or 12 months. You actually end up hating going there. You can't stand talking to the vendor. They actually hate you. They pull their house off the market. But do you know what the worst thing is? They have absolutely no hesitation in telling everyone how crap you really were. It takes so long to build a good brand. It takes about 5 minutes to destroy a good brand. Be a pro in your zone. Like, I work in the Adelaide Hills. I don't know if any of you know where that is. But it's like this really quaint little village. There's a few of them. Everyone's quite community focused. Adelaide City is 15 minutes away. I hate the place. Adelaide Hills is where I sell. I can't stand going down to the plains. So stick to where you sell. You've got to be passionate about what you sell. You've got to know what you're selling. You've got to be able to provide sound advice to anyone that you're going in to appraise. I have absolutely no hesitations in platforming my clients to get them the most out of it when I sell it. So I don't have any hesitations in project managing, bathroom, kitchen, carpets, walls, whatever that is. You have to have the contacts to take control of the vessel and point it in the right direction. I don't have time to go and visit my 35 listings, every week and go into their living room and tell them how great they are. My team, 9 times out of 10, will get my clients to come and see me in the office. It's a really interesting thing. Selling proposals, listing appointments, vendor meetings, pre-auction meetings. It doesn't matter what it is. If you can get them to come to the office, you can get through those appointments so much quicker. You're more effective with getting the outcome. You can implement the changes to your team immediately, and you haven't lost time being stuck on the road. You've got to have a team prepared for battle. If you don't have a team that can stand up and make decisions for you when it really counts, you need to change your team. I'm in the process of going through a massive restructure right now. I'm quite okay with telling you that. I lost my PA 2 weeks ago, and I'm actually fine because do you know what? With everything, there is a silver lining. The silver lining for me is our systems were clunky. The best thing about this is when we get our new PA, we are going to be so bloody good. So watch out. Midweek auctions. Guys, I don't do them on the weekend. I have 1 day to do opens. I need to do 15 opens a weekend in 1 day. I cannot get stuck doing auctions. Do them during the week. You meet your buyers that are actually wanting to buy. You don't get stuck with the neighbours. You can just get the bloody job done. Run killer open inspections. Ours go like 10 to 10:30, 10:30 to 11, 11 to 11, all the way through the day. There's 2 of us doing them and we just wham straight through them. We have expectations on our vendors, how they will present the houses, just like they have expectations on us. I've learned over the years the hard way that I have to plan and structure my life. As I've had more kids, babies, my babies used to sit under the desk. I've had to actually structure my life, and I've learned that I need to be mentally fit. And I've got to have match time and I've got to have bench time. I've got to have time when I've got skin in the game, I'm making calls, I'm hustling, but I've got to have something to look forward to. And that's time off. I've got to recharge. I've got to spend time with my family. You've got to keep your brain fresh. You've got to be able to see your children. Mums have the hardest job in the world because do you know what we do to ourselves? We actually torture ourselves. We actually feel so bad for going to work that we actually forget about how we're actually providing for our children as well. And we torture ourselves and it internalises and we end up turning into these massive monsters just because we feel so bad about not being home the whole time. And wouldn't it be nice if the men in this room felt that just for 1 day? Because I reckon they might be home more often. I tell you, there is rarely a night during the week that I don't see my kids before they go to bed. and that's not a lie, I made a pact that if I was going to bring these kids into in this world, that I was going to be part of their life. And I think you all should take on that. You know, work can wait. There's a guy in our office. He's the nicest guy. He's bloody hilarious. But whenever someone calls, he's like, yep, no worries, I'll be there. Yep, I can do that. Yep, I can do that. I'll race, I'll do that, I'll do that. At the end of the day, he's like exhausted. I'm like, mate, just say no. It's okay, you can say no. Sometimes learning to say no allows you to take charge of the vessel again. Get back in control. On Fridays, I don't work. If someone wants to see me on Friday, I say, sorry, I'm unavailable on Friday. Is there another day? If they still persist, I say, actually, I've got my children that day. Is there another day? It's okay to say you got kids. Like, that's a reality of life. They all do. Working a 5-day week, guys. I actually work 4.5 days. Sounds cool, doesn't it? Why do you have to work 7? I don't understand. I think it's because you say yes the whole time. You're not platforming your positioning properly. You need time off. This is just an idea of what my week looks like. It's not perfect, so don't try and do it, but I'm just giving you an idea. There's like a big white section that's called family time. Funny, no one ever puts that in. Kids need that. But you can see that I'm not really in the office before at 8:30, 9 o'clock. And that's because I'm still doing sport with the kids before school. I'm getting them ready. Like, I'm having to be a parent too. But by doing that, every morning we have a meeting. That meeting is an agenda item, agenda set that we run through every day. You need to platform your day. You've heard of people speaking about it already, and it's legitimately right. If you're not setting your day up properly, it'll end up in chaos. Come, take it from me. It happens to me the whole time. If I don't set my day up properly, I end up in a cyclone of mess. Simple things. In the office in the morning, get on the road or in appointments in the afternoon. Don't overcomplicate it. Imagine if you could make money while you slept. How cool would that be? The reality of the social interfaces these days is that we can do just that. Now, I'm only on Facebook and LinkedIn. I'm going to get on Instagram because I want to follow Chappelle. Legitimately, I want to know where she is. Thought I could chase her while I'm here. But Facebook gives you this look of being busy. You know, even if you're not busy, you can pretend to be busy because there's so much crap you can put on that thing. But for me, every listing, every sale gets platformed on that page. Same format. It looks smart. If whatever you do has to have a front of page newspaper policy attached to that. Are you okay with everything you post on Facebook, knowing that if the advertiser, which is our Adelaide paper or whatever they're called, Courier Mail, whatever, put that on the front page of the paper and publish that all around, are you actually okay with that? And if you're okay with that, publish it. I have a hashtag. It's called Pink Cells. Hashtag Pink Cells. For those who don't know, Harris is like fundamentally pink. I wanted to wear a pink dress today, but it clashed with the red mat, so I thought I'd better not. But people come up to me at open inspections and they say, pink cells the whole time. Isn't that cool? Like, that branding, I just came up with one day and I've just run with it. But they've taken it and run. So don't do pink cells, because if you've got a blue company, you'll look a bit stupid. Your own personality, isn't it funny? Like, you can just be a normal person and funnily enough, you stand out. I think, you know, it's free to be who you are. It doesn't cost you anything. But I think you need to get the confidence within yourself that you're actually okay with who you are. I don't want to look like any of the other lady real estate agents. And I reckon there's a lot of you guys in this room that so want to be Matt Steinwide. I reckon you need to get a new look. No offence, Matt. I mean, you're a really good-looking guy, but some of the others aren't. Signboards will work for you the whole time. Don't underestimate the value of a signboard. They work for you 24/7. Some people will drive past a signboard twice, maybe 12 times a day. For those who don't know Harris, ours are pink. You know, 50% of our calls that come into the office asking to speak to me, when I say to them, why did you call me? They say, we see your pink boards everywhere. To me, that's pretty cool. Oh, I forgot to talk about paper. Probably because you all think it's dead. It's not dead. If you want to platform your business in the mid to upper end of the market, you need to be advertising in the advertiser or the newspaper or whatever you've got. But if you're going to bother doing it, do it well. There's no point doing a pissy little ad that no one will see. Go big, go bold, be seen. Your client's paying for it. and you want to make it little, make it big. Keep that top of mind peripheral awareness of your brand right up there and in their face the whole time. I think every business has a recipe to success, and we're in a business. Like, it's the cheapest business you can ever get into because, do you know what? You have to put nothing into it apart from your time. But it is a business, and every business has a recipe to success, and you've got to have some fundamentals that drive yours. And my 5 ingredients, if you like, that really drive my business are actually not complicated. But I know you have to work smarter, not harder. I like to play a bit more than I like to work. I'm not an alcoholic. But you've got to know that you've got to make better connections if you can't make them the whole time. Like, God help me, I reckon James Tostevin in one day makes more calls than I make in 1 week, in 1 year. Sorry, to his 1 day. I'm really crap at making calls. But I actually make the most of where I am at the time. So at school pickups or drop-offs, I'm talking to people. Oh my God, your kids get birthday invitations. Put that data into your system. Give that kid the best present, by the way. But even my kids, one of my children ride horses competitively, and I've sponsored all the little kid riders. They all wear a pink frilly t-shirt, and on the back of it, it says Pink Ponies, Harris, Pink Ponies. I sponsor the horse events, and around the arenas are these pink horse heads. They say Harris, Pink Ponies. All this stuff is just passively saying to someone, go to that girl, go to that girl, go to that girl. Get on committees. They're a pain in the ass to go to, but I reckon if you actually add value, you actually get so much in return. Nice guys can and do finish first. It's okay to do the right thing. I have no issues with telling people what their house is truly worth. I'm not afraid of missing a listing if they want more than what I think it's worth. AM, PM, guys. It's simple. In the office in the morning, out on the road in the afternoon. Don't overcomplicate it. But always address the elephant in the room. So many of us go into a conversation with our clients and we forget to actually deal with the toughest conversation first. It's okay to tell them you've got no interest. You're actually looking after them to give them advice to get their house sold. Don't panic. Tell them how it really is. My favourite, real relationships beat database chasers. How cool is that? Some of these little pimps in here call my clients like 10 or 15 times, and guess what? Every time they say, you can call me as much as you like, but I'm listing with Arabella. Because my relationship with them, I'm like their friend. At least they think I am. I am. Because I'm actually a nice person, so they're attracted to being with someone that's actually nice and real. Final slide, guys. Know your style. You weren't born to fit in, so don't try to. If you were born to stand out, stand out. Don't try and be Matt Steinway. Don't try and be Matt Lancashire. Don't try and be anyone like that. Don't try and be me. Just be you. Know who you are. Embrace who you are. Because you've got to remember, when you're in the living room and you're pitching for the deal, if you're one of 3 going in and the 2 others look like Matt Steinway going in with the comb over, the jacket, chinos, and you walk in looking a bit hip, I actually don't even have to talk to them about the house. I just talk to them about them. Because do you know what? When they go back and look at it all, the chino guys say the same thing. They talk about the same thing, cost, price, strategy. For me, I do all of that, but it's like a tiny section of what I do. The biggest section is actually working out whether they're attracted to working with me and whether I want to attract to be working with them. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here.